Trafficking is a serious issue affecting millions all around the world, including right here in Mississippi, of course. Today I spoke with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's Brandi Bynum on how they're tackling this problem. Brandi Bynum from the Department of Homeland Security, thanks so much for being with us. Here in Mississippi, our Attorney General and the Department of Public Safety have a very aggressive campaign to crack down on human trafficking. How prevalent is this problem all across the country?
So what we know is that it doesn't just happen here in the United States, it's happening globally. It is affecting millions of people across the world, and it's billions of dollars worth of a profit for the people who participate in the crime. And so it is affecting, like I mentioned, millions, and it's happening in our cities, it's happening in rural areas, and it's comprised of both sex trafficking and labor trafficking.
Well, on the sex trafficking, I presume young women are the most vulnerable targets.
Actually, human trafficking affects men, women, boys, and girls across the world.
And on the labor front, the other half of this problem, how do you crack down on that? What's the situation?
I'm glad you mentioned it, because so many people in the public have no idea that human trafficking is both sex trafficking and labor trafficking. And labor trafficking is actually more prevalent across the nation. And the reason why it's mostly underreported is because of the indicators. So I always like to use the example, I'm from the South, from North Carolina, and me and my family would travel up the 95 corridor often. If I'm passing a farm or somewhere, a rural area with a lot of agriculture, if I see somebody working out there, it looks like they're just working to the naked eye, right? I have no idea if they're under distress or if they're there against their will or if they're getting paid at all, right? Where if you see sex trafficking happening, the indicators are a little bit more eye-catching. And so what we're seeing is that labor trafficking is underreported, even though that it's happening more. So what we're doing here at the campaign is we're upping our awareness when it comes to making people more aware of what labor trafficking actually looks like.
And that campaign you talk about, you've labeled it the Blue Campaign. How do ordinary citizens get involved in this?
Absolutely. So we're a national public awareness program designed to educate the public, law enforcement, and industries on what human trafficking looks like and how to properly report. We also are in communities that are more susceptible to human trafficking to let them know how they can protect themselves and protect others. And January is National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and it's no better time now that the month is coming up next month to talk about this year-long issue. On January 11th is #WearBlueDay. It is our biggest awareness day of the year, and it's a very visible way for the public to participate and become engaged ambassadors to help us raise awareness in their communities. All you need to do is wear a piece of blue clothing, take a photo with your family, your friends, or your colleagues, post it on social media using the hashtag #WearBlueDay. You can even tag us at DHS Blue Campaign for a possible repost. And what that's going to do is it's going to generate the conversation on what human trafficking is, how people can get more educated. And that's the whole point, is that we want to get the public involved in helping us raise awareness about the crime.
All right. I can't think of another crime more sinister than human trafficking, and the Department of Homeland Security is taking it on with this Blue Campaign. Brandi, thanks so much for being with us, and thanks so much for the great information.
Thank you so much for having me.